it's Miss Jones here along with Bailey. And this is for my freshman level students. I'm going to briefly go over what we're doing this week. So let's get started. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on this page. So this week we're going to get started on 9.2.1. Now I did go over this lesson with you in class a little bit ahead of time. And I also have this recorded on last week's video. So if you'd like to see me go through this, I encourage you to go check that out on your own. But what we're looking at this week is how to develop a claim. And remember, claims need to be something that we can argue for and that somebody else can argue against. And, you know, we kind of need to combine a statement and our opinion about that topic. It's a topic and opinion that we need. And if you remember, we learned the 3 ways to test and make sure your claim is a strong one. And we know that our claims need to be specific. All right, we can't talk about generalized topics or topics that are too vague. They need to be able to be debated or to be challenged. All right, so we need to be prepared for somebody to disagree with us. And our claims also need to be able to be supported by evidence. All right, it's really important that you can back your claim up with, you know, some data, some facts, some testimony in order to support your claim. So as long as you have those 3 things, you have a strong claim. So 9.2.2, I will be absent on Monday, and this is what I want you guys to finish. You guys should have plenty of time to finish this activity on your own in class. But what you're going to do is you're going to read these prompts, and you're going to develop a strong claim for each of these prompts. All right, so if you look at this document right here, our first prompt asks, most children are required to attend school for 7 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Should teachers be allowed to force children to work even longer days by adding homework? Does homework really help the child learn, or is it just adding too much pressure on them and robbing them of the ability to just be kids? So this is a prompt that could incite multiple claims. You know, you can agree that, you know, teachers should not be giving homework and they should limit their instruction to the school day. You can also argue that homework teaches grit. Homework teaches you how to work hard and how to stay focused and how to work as an individual. So no matter how you feel about this, you know, as long as you can address the topic of whether teachers should assign homework, and you can develop a position on that topic, nothing wishy-washy, okay? When it comes to claims, you can't agree with both sides. And this is what's really hard for students to understand, guys. You gotta pick one side or the other, whether you believe in it with all your heart or not. When it comes to making a claim, just pick a side, stick with it, and back that claim. Pretend like you can back that claim up 100%. So you'll put your claim down here at the bottom. And if you have any questions about this, if you look at my video from last week, I show you a few examples of this chart and how to use it to develop a claim. And so, you know, your topic here would probably say something along the lines of, you know, teachers assigning homework. Your position would be either yes, teachers should assign homework, or no, teachers should not assign homework. And then your claim will be made down here, okay? And then you're going to do it again. Our next prompt asks to use the article to respond to the purpose for reading question. Now, the article that we're talking about here is the article that we've already read about Instagram users tricking their followers into, you know, buying products that they intentionally sponsor or, you know, are supporting on their social media accounts. And so, are these Instagram stars tricking their followers? Okay, your topic should probably be related to product placement, your position. Is it good? Is it bad? And then you make your claim. And guys, remember, it's really important that your claim is a complete sentence. Your claim needs to be a complete statement. Okay, don't keep it too brief. Don't keep it too short. And it needs to be one strong sentence. All right, and so you guys, this is not that much. Okay, you guys should finish this easily while I'm away on Monday. Now, if you do finish work early on Monday, you can work ahead. You can flip through the slides presentation here on looking at strong evidence, or you can just sit back, relax, and watch me give a presentation on this right now. All right, so remember, one of the 3 things that you need when you're developing a strong claim, you need to be able to back it up. All right, you need to be able to find something to support the position that you're making, because it's going to make your claim stronger and it's going to add value to what you're saying. So, you know, if we're looking at this example, if we're looking at our article, are your fave Instagram stars trying to trick you? All right. You guys should have already had an idea as to how you would answer the purpose for reading question. And so you're going to need this in order to help you with this. And so you guys should have already gone through and you should have already highlighted the evidence that supports the claim that this article is making. Okay? And you should look at that evidence and determine which of those quotes that you highlighted supports your position the best. And that's not going to be good enough. You can't just find a quote, slap it on your paper, and expect that to be good enough and expect your claim to be supported. But you're going to need to add another extra element to that, and that is to add reasoning. Okay, one of the best pieces of advice I give to young writers is to explain everything as painfully clearly as possible. Okay, you want to pretend like you're writing for someone who just doesn't get it. And if you do that, you're going to find that your writing is a lot more clear and coherent. And so, you know, if you find some evidence, if you find some quotes that support your claim, okay, you can't just give it to the reader and expect them to understand it. You have to give reasoning. You have to explain why that quote supports your claim. That's the key. And so you're going to see this chart. Let me get rid of my face here for a minute. Okay, these charts are supposed to help you. I know you guys are probably really tired of charts, but, you know, that's what gets us started. That's what gets us going. So you'll write your claim about the article up here. Okay, yes, Instagram stars are trying to trick their followers because they endorse products within their social media accounts. That would be a strong claim. You could argue the opposite of that. And then what you would do is you would go through and you would highlight all the evidence. You don't need to put anything in for box 2. You don't need to put anything in for box 3, because box 3 is just asking you to look at the evidence that you highlighted. But for number 4, you're going to choose one of those pieces of highlighted evidence and you're going to copy and paste it and put it in this box, because that's the strongest piece of evidence that supports your claim that you put up here. All right, what quote best supports your claim about whether or not Instagram stars are trying to trick their followers with product placements? All right, but it's not good enough if you just give me a quote. All right, it's not good enough. I need reasoning. I need you to back it up. I need you to explain it to me as if I have no idea what's going on. Explain to me why that quote supports your claim. Why does that quote work so perfectly for you? Okay, your goal is to get me to believe whatever you're saying in this box. Okay, how does the quote you find and your reasoning to support it help you in that matter? All right, and so we'll do the rest of this together as a class. But hopefully that will help you with understanding, you know, how to find good evidence. I hope. Sorry, my computer's taking a minute to load. All right. So why is it so important to develop a claim? Why is it so important to find evidence to back it up? Well, we like to call these your CER skills, your claim evidence reasoning skills. And these are skills that you're going to need in adulthood in order to accomplish a lot of many different tasks, both professionally and, you know, in your personal lives. So if you look at this presentation right here, this kind of goes over the claim evidence reasoning format that we're going to follow here in class. This is how we're going to learn about it. So yeah, throughout the school year, we've been learning how to write solid paragraphs. We've been understanding arguments. We've been looking at claim, evidence, reasoning. But now you guys are you're gonna do it for yourselves. And so this is a CER outline. This is actually the same outline that I have my junior level students work with, because it's a great way for us to organize our writing and make it clear for our reader. And so you can see in it right here, okay, we have it listed. We have claim, strong evidence, reasoning, concluding sentence. Now in each of these boxes, you're going to put a sentence. And you guessed it, your first sentence, it's going to be the claim. Your second sentence, it's going to be the quote. It's going to be strong evidence. And then you have 2 sentences of reasoning where you explain that relationship between your quote and the claim you're trying to make. You're going to explain to me how what the author says right here supports what you say up here. And then you're going to wrap it up with a concluding sentence. And so another way to help us is to use Say Mean Matter chart, which we've done before in our class several times before. But, if you're just joining us late in the game, we use the Say Mean Matter charts to just organize the evidence that we see in a piece of writing. And so what you would do is you would put those quotes that you highlighted that support your purpose for reading question. You would put those here in this first column. And you know what? Let me exit out of this, because I think you can see it a lot better on the page here. Good. So your claim about the article that you're going to make here. Okay, you're gonna put your main claim up here at the top, up here where it says claim or thesis. Okay, because as soon as you guys get into more advanced academic writing, when you guys start writing real academic papers, persuasive essays, your thesis statement is going to be the most important statement that you make in that entire essay. It's going to be the one sentence that explains to your reader what the point is. Okay, why are you waking up in the morning and getting on the computer and typing up this big essay? What are you trying to accomplish? All right, it's going to be this sentence that explains to the reader exactly your purpose. And so you'll need to find your claim, and your claim should be the answer to the purpose for reading question, are Instagram stars trying to trick their followers? And so the statement that you make will go up here, and then you'll pull evidence from the article that supports your claim. Okay, you're going to read the article, and you're going to find me 3 quotes that support your position. Are they trying to trick their followers, or aren't they? In the next box, you're going to tell me what that quote says, and you're going to put it in your own words. You're going to paraphrase it for me, okay? And so you're just going to basically take the quote that you put in this box and put it in your own words in this box. That's simple. Up next, you're going to tell me what your quote means, okay? What does this mean? What should readers think or consider about this? This is where you're going to make inferences. This is where you're going to make sense of the quote. But in the last box, why does your quote matter? Okay, I want to know why this quote matters to the claim that you made up here at the top. Why does this quote matter? Why does it support what you have to say for the claim? How does this evidence prove your claim? That should be a question mark. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And so, there are 6 boxes here, but I'm going to only ask that you do 3. Okay, if you want to go a little extra, I think that'll be a good idea. But 3 is just fine. If you need more, you need more. Don't do less. Do at least 3. And then you'll be good to go. And so what that activity is going to help you do is that's going to help you fill out the CER outline up here. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, but you know what? I'm going to walk through this with you in class. It'll be a lot easier with me there. But if you see the CER outline, this is like half a paragraph, okay? If you were to take out all of your answers, all the things that you put in this box, okay, that's going to be half of a body paragraph. And I know it's kind of hard to make sense of while we're looking at it in chart form, but what you should be able to do is you should be able to write your main claim. So, say I'm writing a claim, who's better, Batman or Superman? Okay, so I might write my claim, after considering both the DC and Marvel is comic book one word? Comic book universe. Okay, it's telling me it's not. It's clear that Batman is a better superhero. And here's a good trick when you're making claims, guys. Okay, you want to add a because. All right, you want to add a because what it's going to do, it's going to strengthen your claim, and it's going to make it less vague. It's going to make it more clear to your reader what your true position is. And so I could just say it's clear that Batman is a better superhero and have you, the reader, figure it out, but that's a tough job to do. So I'm going to give 3 reasons why. It's good to stick with 3 reasons. So after considering both the DC and Marvel comic book universes, it's clear that Batman is a better superhero because he's intelligent. Okay. Rich. Yeah, he's got a lot of money. And he's a human being. Okay. All right. If you guys don't know, spoiler alert: Superman is an alien. All right. And so yeah, that would be my claim to the prompt. You know, who's a better superhero, Batman or Superman? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some strong evidence. And so, you know, let's say, let me see if I can pull a comic book off my shelf here to help me with this. Let's see. All right. So what I can say, you know, I'll use Batman's The Killing Joke for evidence here. And so, and I'm going to use a paraphrase here. I'm really lazy. I don't want to have to go through the comic book and remember what happens and remember the exact quotes. So I'm just going to paraphrase what happens in it. And, you know, I'm going to paraphrase the story and I'm say, as clear from, who was it, Alan Moore that wrote this? Alan Moore and Brian Bollins. The Killing Joke. Batman manages to stick true to his human nature and his desire to live by an ethical code of conduct despite being put into difficult situations by the evil Joker. Alright? So I don't think I'm doing a lot of justice to this comic, but, you know, that's going to work for this example for you guys right now. All right, and so that's what I'm going to use. And so, you know, maybe, you know, I can't just give this evidence out there and expect the reader to make sense of it and to believe my claim just because I you know, talked about a book. But, you know, I have to give reasoning. I have to give examples. I have to explain more about this evidence and why it works to support my claim. So I can go on and say, the Joker is the worst kind of villain, and by watching Batman still be true to his values despite having the Joker attack the people he loves most, it's inspiring. And you know what? Maybe I can add a little more with this next sentence, you know, explaining why Superman's not so great. So, you know, because Superman is a super powered alien, he can't be held to the same standards as Batman, who is limited by his human form and his own emotions. Ooh, we're getting deep here. Okay, so what I did with these two sentences is these are reasoning sentences. And so this is where I give reasons. This is where I explain to the reader why my claim is true. Why what I say about Batman should be believed. All right, I'm trying to write persuasively here. And what this does, this extra reasoning, along, you know, this reasoning supports my evidence, and my evidence supports my claim. All of these things build up on top of each other. And so for my concluding sentence, this is a little simpler to do. This is where you just basically wrap up your thinking here in a nice, neat little bow, make it easy for your reader. And so for this, I could say, you know, along with his intelligence, wealth, and heart, and human heart, right? Because that's the point we're trying to make here. It's impossible to consider that Superman is better than Batman. All right, it's that simple. That's how you do it. And so what you'll see, what you can do, I mean, the whole point of this chart is to write a paragraph. All right, and so what we'll do is we'll take our first sentence, we'll copy it, paste it, put it there. Okay, if we take our next sentence, if we copy it and put it right after our first sentence, oops, I didn't mean to copy the box there. Let me try that again. Okay, if we put that sentence after this sentence, all right, our paragraph is going further. Our paragraph is developing more. Okay, let's take this next sentence. All right, and then the next. And then the next. There you go. Do you see how easy it was for me to write like an academic essay, body paragraph, essay? Yeah, like that was just one paragraph. And it took me like what, 2 minutes? I don't know. You guys can look at the video and count the time yourself. But yeah, there we go. After considering both DC and Marvel comic book universes, it's clear that Batman is a better superhero because he's intelligent, rich, and he's a human being. As clear from Alan Moore and Brian Boland's The Killing Joke. And see, right here, I made a mistake. So if you notice, this is an example of a tag. All right? I have the title. I have the authors, but I'm missing the genre. And so what I should say is Alan Moore and Brian Boland's comic, The Killing Joke. Okay, there's my genre. There's my tag. But and this is what the point is. After you finish this chart, you should be able to go through it and make it better. This is the revising process. And guys, even teachers aren't exempt from having to do this. So Batman manages to stick true to his human nature and to his desire to live by an ethical code of conduct despite being put into difficult situations by the evil Joker. The Joker is the worst kind of villain, and by watching Batman still be true to his values despite having the Joker attack the people he loves most, it's inspiring. Because Superman is a superpowered alien, he can't be held to the same standards as Batman, who is limited by his human form and his own emotions. Along with his intelligence, wealth, and human heart, it's impossible to consider that Superman is better than Batman. That's how you do it. And so that's what I want you guys to do. Only this time what you're going to do is you're going to make a claim about the article that we read together. Are your fave Instagram stars trying to trick you? Okay? You're going to do the same process. You're just not talking about Batman. You're talking about something else. Okay? And so I think that's it for this week. Oh, and then of course if you want to get a head start on 9.3.3, I don't think I've made this due for you until May 24th. But if you finish everything this week a little early and you want to get a head start, you can go ahead and go through and answer all the questions I have at the bottom. I ask you to make a summary. I ask you to determine the audience, the arguments, the author's point of view, what's the author's tone, that kind of thing. So if you want to work ahead on this activity, you can. I saw that a few of you guys already were. So that's great. Keep it up. But that's what we're doing this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you when I come back. Bye.